Everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today we're going to be recapping a week of lifting. It's been going very good, starting the new year with a new outlook, new focus, new goals, new periodization, and on a diet. Or on the diet. We wouldn't call it a diet. We're calorie restricted. We came off of the 4-month bulk and, the coup de grace in December, eating all kinds of stuff way outside the scope of a bodybuilding diet, and it's about time to rein it back in and get in shape, and that means restricting the calories. So the workouts are going great. Coming off the logbook a little bit, it's not 100% logbook training anymore. What I mean by logbook training is you track your progressions on every single exercise, on every single lift, every single session. Now, that's great for off-season training, in my opinion. It's not the most convenient or the most advisable for getting in shape. Now, I do keep track of everything, but my parameters change. What's the difference? Well, I'm not going for pure strength anymore. I'm not trying to build up my weight progression in the absolute, although I do it here and there. So what's the difference? We try to throw in more volume. First of all, cuts, definition, calorie restriction, increase in exercise and output. Now, obviously, the idea is to maintain or even gain muscle mass. You don't want to lose muscle while on the diet. This is what people who are uninformed about muscle building do when they go on diets. They lose as much muscle as they do fat, and they don't look good at the end. The shape of the body, the good-looking part of the body, is the muscle. You want to just trim the fat away. So if you go on a calorie restriction, you lower the weights, and you start doing all kinds of cardio without really putting out all your effort with the heavy weight, you're going to lose muscle mass. And so you're not going to lose the same amount of body fat percentage, because percentage is determined by the muscle to fat ratio. You can lose 20 pounds of fat and still be 20% fat. How about that? How does that feel? It sucks. I mean, if I lose 20 pounds of fat, I want to go from 18 to 8% body fat, because I want to preserve all the muscle. The muscle is still going to be there. How is that done? Besides PEDs. How is that done? By keeping your protein intake decently high. You don't want to do a super high protein, because then you'll trick your body into glucogenesis through protein, which means that you'll use protein as a fuel source. You don't really want to do that. You want to use your protein as a muscle building source and use carbohydrates and fats for your energy sources. But if you trick your body into using protein, you're eating 300 grams of protein, 400 grams of protein, and very, very little carbs, very little fat. You're doing this, it's not ketogenic, it's just high protein. Your body's going to start using protein for fuel. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep your protein rational. But it still means that you're eating a lot of protein. I mean, 250 grams of net protein is about 1.5 pounds of raw meats. 1.5 pounds. So that's basically 24 ounces of meats, plus eggs, plus other protein sources here and there. So, along with that calorie restriction, eating a high protein or a higher protein intake, you start lowering the carbs, you lower the fat. You have to. This is obviously tracked. You have to track this thing. I talk to a lot of people at the gym. They ask me, "Hey, give me a good diet. What do I do to maintain my muscle? I want to go on a cut." And I say, "Do you know how to track your calories?" He says, "No." Do you know anything about macros? And they look at me like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, look, anybody can lose weight. What you want is to get muscular and defined and keep your muscles. It's scientific. You have to know what the hell you're doing, or else you're not going to achieve what you're looking for. You have to know how to track your calories. And nowadays, it's the easiest thing in the world with these fitness trackers and Fat Secret and all these apps that are out there. You just have to take the time and log in everything you eat. From there, you have to determine how many calories you actually use to maintain your weight. Say you're 210 or 195, whatever your weight is, and you track it to stay the same weight for a week or two. That's your maintenance calories. That's how much you eat to stay the same. So you want to drop? You have to come down 300 calories, 250, 400. I like to do these things slowly, especially at first. No, and the whole time, especially at the end, you don't want to go balls to the wall on calorie restriction. You'll lose muscle and you'll lose your strength. If you're not eating properly, if you're not eating enough food, say your maintenance is 2,800 or 3,000 calories and you drop it down to 1,800 calories, your workouts are going to be shit. You're not going to be able to squat and squat 6 plates and bench press 3 plates. You're not going to be able to do that because you're weak. Food equals strength. No food equals you're worthless. You don't do anything all day long. You're just like you're moping and you're no energy and you won't be able to train properly. Again, you want to maintain your muscle, you have to train really hard. How the hell are you going to train super hard? By eating 1,800 calories a day. So your maintenance is 3,000 calories, you drop it down to 27. And then from there, maybe go down to 26. And after a month and a half, if it stagnates, you bring it down to 25. And then you add a little bit of cardio. And then you add another session of cardio. You're not doing 3 hours a day. You're not doing the Ronnie Coleman, like these professional guys. They say, I did an hour in the morning, an hour at night. Yeah, they were eating 6,000 calories on top of that. And getting cut. Are you doing 20 units of growth hormone? No? I thought so. Are you doing 5 grams of anabolic steroids a month? No? Okay, so don't even think about those protocols. Just go down to normal. Do your normal shit, like bring it down from 3,000 to 27 to 26 to 25, and say you're going really hardcore, last 4 weeks, you really want to get shredded, bring it down to 2,200. Do 4 sessions of cardio a week and get yourself into the gym and train as hard as you can. And, hope for the best. That's all I can say. Most people, you shouldn't go down to such low extremes. Anyways, I get a little bit off track. Back to the output and the training. This week, straying a little bit off the logbook, we're throwing more volume at certain areas. So in these last 4 months during the bulk, I was prioritizing my legs. Needed to bring up the leg mass. I needed to get that done. It was like non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Got to bring up the leg mass. Very hard to do at any age, and I'm 58, and I'm trying to, and I did. I did bring it up by keeping the logbook. My hack squat went up from 2.5 plates to 4 to 5 to 6. To 6, that's, for me, that's respectable. Once, next progression, I'll try to go up to 7 and 8, or 7 at least. But 6 plates and competently moving the 5 and the 4 plates for lots of reps, getting a lot of volume. Vertical leg press, much better than the angled leg press. A truer weight, a more loyal pressure on the legs. Got them up to 5 plates. The Smith squat back up to 3+. I do those with 4+, but we're going to reincorporate them. And so throwing in a lot of volume, but I had not neglected, but I had put on the back burner my back, my chest, my shoulders, my arms, everything so I could intensify the legs. Now, it's time to bring everything up. Everything needs to come back up. So this week's back session was bomber, man. It was like, usually I just go and do a few heavy exercises. I'll do like a pull down to warm up, either neutral grip or wide grip, and yank on that bugger for 4 or 5 sets, and that usually gets me really pumped, especially my rear delts are getting really pumped with the lateral, with the cable pull downs, and I'll do a row, and that'll be it. Today I said I'm going to throw volume at it, and I'm going to start with a different perspective. Well, started out with the heavy weight, like with the barbell row, and worked it up to 265 pounds for 5 reps, and did a couple of sets with 225 pounds, like 9 reps. And so I got some work, I got some volume and power work, explosive power work, and then from there went and did pullovers, dumbbell pullovers. Lots of gyms now have the pullover machine. It's great, like the old Nautilus where you do the, this pullover thing. It's really a highly effective exercise. Probably one of the most underrated lat developers there is. If you really work that pullover correctly, it will pronounce your lats. And so I started out with the dumbbell pullover. Haven't done these in years. Since I'm over my shoulder issues, no problems at all with my shoulders. I'm doing the dumbbell. Start off very light, with like 15 pounds, just to get the movement. Squeezing more than using the weight, just more, like a flex. And I did posing in between sets. Now, this posing is, like, it really works. Now, I can see why the pros, it makes all the difference in the world to properly pose and contract and cramp your muscles between sets. So with the pullovers, worked them up to like 75 pounds and just doing a front lat spread and holding it for 30 seconds, working the mirror, just trying to get the angle right. Don't lift your shoulders up too much. Don't bring them down too much. Just get them just so. Flare the lat, bring it out, tighten it up, tighten, loosen at the same time. It's tricky. I've never done that before. So with a training partner, we were doing that. And then we went to the T-bar rows without the exaggerated weight. We didn't put 6, 7, 8 plates on there. We're working 3 and 4. I work with, 4 plates is easy. 5 plates is challenging to get 12 to 15 reps. I'll get winded with 5. And 6 would be a top set. Today just stuck with 4. I'm doing reps there. Really just trying to hold the peak contraction, squeeze the lat, and then lower down slowly, and then squeeze and lower and squeeze and lower. And so by then I had 3 back exercises going, and then from there I did the rear double bicep, really spreading the lat, crunching the lat down, pronouncing the glute, making the hip hinge, and just really bringing the back out and holding that for 30 seconds. That'll get you winded. It's not easy, and it was really tightening up the back. And then from there went and did wide grip lat pull downs for another exercise variation, worked those with the same diligence. And that was that for back. And then we did maybe 7 or 8 sets of lateral flies with the dumbbells. Just 30 pounders. I like going heavy on these sometimes. I've worked them up to 55, 60s on the rear delts. I have gone up to 80-pound dumbbells. Sure, you swing them up a little bit. Bend over and you swing them up. They work. For now, I'm just trying to get in work volume and really focus on the contraction of the muscle. And so again, throwing in a lot of work volume. Did some seated, some standing, bent over, and just fly. So that was that session. Throwing a lot of volume, not so much the weight progressions. Oh, I didn't hit 3 plates today. Now, my logbook, what am I going to do? No, this is a different period. Volume, results, diet, lose the fat. And I can't be more excited for this period. It's such a change of pace. It's really exciting. The next session after that was the delts. Did an arm and delt session, progressing on the Smith. In fact, I think I'll upload the training video for that after this presentation. And progressing on the Smith military press. You put the pins where you come down just enough. You don't want to come all the way down here. For me, it puts impingement on my shoulders. Have to take care of them. So I like to range it out where it just goes a little bit below parallel, a little bit below 90 degrees, and then from there I can really just push. And I've worked them up to 2 plates. Last session was 4 reps. Today I got 5, so I did 2 sets of those, 2 sets of 5. And I feel that, it's pretty soon to adding more weight on there. And then the back off sets, these are great. You do these heavy weights, right? You do this top set where you're, low rep and you put in all this weight. And that's like your top set, your all out max. And then you take the weight off and you go for your maximum amount of reps. Last week I got with 155 pounds, which is the 45-pound plate, and a 5 and a 10-pound plate on each side. I got 16 reps. And this session, I got 22. I felt I was going to go all day long until the last rep, it just bombed. It was like, doon, 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 doon. And on the last one, no, not one more. So it's too many reps. I have to increase the weight now. And these are progressions. This is how you progress. I'm getting stronger on that exercise by keeping a loyalty to the movement, doing it week after week, and just doing it like by the logbook. So that's basically it, guys. Just sharing here the journey and giving some hints and tips on what you guys can do. It is working. It has been working for me. Getting stronger on everything, and now really want to show the definition. Want to lose the body fat. Can't really see it here on the video. I'm not showing my body yet. I still have a little, some fat around the gut, and that'll go. That'll be gone in a few months. A few months. It doesn't drop away overnight. I keep an Excel sheet where I log my weight every single morning at the same time, and I adjust my calories according to how I'm looking into how I'm feeling. I don't make radical adjustments. I'm going very slow. If the weight stagnates for more than 10 days, then there is some major adjustment, some different adjustment. Quick note on that. Say you're doing your carbs, you're doing rice. So you weigh out 250 grams of cooked rice for 3 of the 5 meals. Bring them down to 225. And then you bring them down to 200. And that's how you work that. And then you bring it down to like 100 at the end. Then you take out the rice altogether and substitute it for a carbohydrate vegetable like pumpkin or squash and these type of deals. And then your carbs will go even lower. Your calories will go even lower. And so that's how that goes, guys. Well, anyways, that'll be all for today. Thanks for listening to this, and I hope it does edify and somehow give some value to what you guys are doing out there. God bless you all. Love you all. We'll see you on the next episode. So the first movement of this session for the delts was the seated Smith machine military press. And here I place the pins at just below 90-degree angle for the elbow, just enough to bring out the maximum force of the delts without impinging, without bringing it down too far. And of course, this permits greater force production, greater leverage, and we build up from one plate to 110, 120, 130. Here we're up to 200 pounds, just warming up, getting the proper range, trying to keep explosive movement, and we're on to our top set. This was a PR. Last week we did 4 reps, and today, by the grace of God, I got 5. 3 reps, 4 reps, and here I knew I had one more, we got the 5th rep. So I decided to go for another set. Just feeling a lot of strength today on the shoulders. Really proper leverage, no impingement, no pain, no nothing, just strength. So I'm taking advantage of it. Strike the iron while it's hot. And it's just, go after these things if you can. Now here I did the back off set. This was also very exciting. Dropping down from 225 to 155 is a significant drop. The weight felt like nothing. And this is also for rep PRs. The last personal record was 16 reps with this weight, and today we just breezed through that. I think we got 22 reps, and I felt like I was going to go all day with these. It was like, whoa, this is super easy. This is like, get some weight on that bar. No, this is just go for reps. Got 22 reps. What does that mean? It means that it's over for 155. Have to graduate now to a higher weight for the rep PRs. Next rep PR is 175. Here we brought it down to 175 just to do some extra volume on the shoulders. And I got 12 reps. So I know that with proper priming next week, I will be needing to go up to maybe 15 reps with this particular weight. And then on and on it goes. From there, going to our volume session for arms. Today, the decision was to do volume. Lots of sets. Lots of work, trying to bring on a little bit of DOMs for the arms, which I have not felt in a long time. I mean, I don't get sore in the biceps. I don't know what I need to do. So I do know what I need to do. I need to work them as hard as humanly possible. So today I was doing these pyramids, starting out with 30 pounds, trying to do them as strict as possible, just curling the bicep, just curling the forearm, making it very strict, keeping the elbow tucked into the side, keeping the pinky out, flexing the peak, and all of that. Mind-muscle connection all day long. From here, we go up to, I think it was 35 pounders. And yeah, so just doing more volume. And it was feeling really good, like the handle. This is like a bigger grip, like a thicker, fat grip dumbbell. And it was just feeling all the stress right on the bicep. I like the way I'm looking there on the left on the mirror. The nice wide back. The legs are starting to get a little bit bigger. Yeah, it takes so long, but this is why you just have to stay on it and not slack off ever. And just doing more reps, more reps, more reps. Dumbbells are basic. Standing dumbbell curl is biceps 101. It is a basic move. Here we're up to 40 pounders. And it was also feeling pretty easy, very maneuverable, very it enabled me to make the mind-muscle connection where I was really just flexing the bicep here. It was disengaging the forearm. So I do a little bit of a wrist curl, and that brings it up it brings it up easier. Just cramping and flexing the bicep and getting in that work volume. It was feeling great. I was really enthused by this time. I said, wow, this is going great. Just do more and more and more. Here we brought it down for a drop set with 35 pounds, or with 30 pounds. Do some extra volume. And I like to mix up the weight ranges. It's like, there's no reason, or of course there's always a reason for everything you do, but you can jump around. You can go from 25s to 50s, back down to 35s, do a 60, do a 15, and, do these different weight ranges. I've seen pros do this. As guys with the biggest arms, they use these different weight ranges, and obviously it engages different muscle fibers, some fast twitch, slow twitch, and you want to really just work the arm completely. And so that does mean different weight ranges. Here we go back up with 45ers. Here we're doing the 45ers. Here is feeling kind of heavy. Yeah, but still we're doing them. We're doing them. And just getting in that vibe felt really great. So that's the idea. When you have a lagging body part, you want to throw different exercise variations at it and more volume. Working by the logbook with weight progression is great for off-season as a general protocol, because obviously you want to increase your strength. And here we go to the triceps pushdown. Now, I have a few words to say about this. I see some people do this kind of slow. They think the slower that they go, the better. And this is really backwards. Like when you're on the concentric, you want to move the weight as fast as possible and keep it under control to control the momentum on the way back down. Physics 101 again. Weight times speed times distance, and the speed is part of the equation. The faster you pull a weight, the more expenditure of energy, the harder it is. And so you don't want to neglect the speed part. And here, when I sped it up, my triceps were actually pulling a lot harder. I could feel them almost yanking off the bone. As I increase the weight and I increase the speed, almost have to be careful of not tearing the muscle. What does that mean? You're working it harder. If you pull that muscle faster under weight, it's going to require a lot more energy than if you do it slowly. Time under tension is so misunderstood. And this is why some people don't progress and others do. Time under tension is the extension of a set above and beyond your normal time range. And so you keep the tension through virtue of greater amount of work, not by doing the exercise ridiculously slow from the onset. That's not how it's done. There might be a time and place for doing those things, but by and large, you want to really push that weight and go hard. Now here, go for the biceps on the isolation preacher curl. Just one arm at a time, starting with the 45 pounders. And here, to be honest, the humor should be completely on flat on the support, All I have is the elbow, and it's not completely strict. But you don't want to let the good kill the perfect kill the good. It's good enough. It wasn't perfect, but it's good. And so here we just drop it down to 30 pounds, from 40 to 30 pounds, to get in more work volume. And here, of course, the biceps is being very much, overloaded with volume and work. I also like to do these as supersets with the triceps. An exercise here, an exercise there, triceps, some biceps, more triceps, more biceps. And this combination seems to be working for the arms. Now, this is, to be honest, this is like my first week of doing these extraordinarily high volume sessions. I've been going by the logbook and just doing weight progressions with a top set and a back off set, mostly on legs and keeping the other body parts in maintenance. But now it's all out. Everything needs to come up while on this phase of diet and just trying to get everything in condition. So that means everything needs to be coming up. Every single body part now needs to be worked to the max. But to me, max is not max weight anymore. Some days, depends on how I feel. But by and large, it's throwing a lot of work volume at the muscle. And that means exercise selection. You're not doing 1 or 2 exercises. You're doing 3, 4, and even 5, depending on the muscle, depending on the body part. Like if it's back, man, it goes up even up to 6 different exercises. So here we're doing our last set with the biceps curl. Nice 30 pounders there. Focusing, I put my fingers on my bicep, trying to just get an extra concentration on it, getting extra mind into it. And I'm feeling pretty satisfied at this stage of the session. I have gotten in quite a bit of training volume. I was primed from the Smith delt presses. From right off the bat, I had PRs. Never in my life had I done 5 reps with 2 plates. Now it's feeling easier. Here we go to the triceps. In Spanish, they call this copa, which means cup. And it's just a dumbbell overhead dumbbell triceps extension. This is one of the most basic exercises that are taught. This is one of the first exercises that I learned to do, and it is very basic. It's also very effective. It really stretches the triceps. Excuse me. Here with 45 pounds just to warm up to get the range. Here we throw it up to 80 pounds and let that sucker just stretch all the way down to the bottom. And since your force is coming off the palm of your hand and not the end of the hand, like when you're doing a curl, you have greater leverage. The shorter the moment arm, the shorter the range, not the range, but your arm. Anyways, so here we go to the lying triceps extension with a straight bar. Here with very moderate weight, just 60 pounds. My usual working range is between 90 and 115. Here we just wanted to get it in some extra work volume, and that was it. That was it for today. An exceptionally productive session, and can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to do it again. I love these volume sessions. Not everything has to be killer overload, maximum 3, 4, 5 plate squats and deadlifts. God bless everybody. Really enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next session.